Hello, Circle Jerkers. I'd like to start today's show on a bit of a somber note. I promised my sweet little cousin Vicky that I'd give her a shout out on the show because she was recently diagnosed with stage 3 penis cancer, and we don't know how much longer she has. So I wanted to make her dreams come true by putting her on the radio, and I just want to say, Vicky, that no matter what your penis doctors say, I believe that we shall overcome. We shall overcome your penis cancer together. God bless. Would you actually, as Nicki Minaj requests in her video, would you actually toss her salad if she told you to? Could you actually do that?
Yes.
Oh yeah?
Like licking her butthole?
That thing's insured. Of course I would.
What if it was pretty gross?
No.
Nope. Well, no.
It was
No.
gross.
What if you can't get any of the other stuff until you do that?
I'm not eating poo-poo.
No, she'd have to clean up house hardcore. Go to a...
I don't know if you're in a position to be barking demands at what's probably a buck-naked Nicki Minaj.
That's what I'm saying. Is
asking
could you actually
to lick her butthole.
I'm not saying
I don't think you return with a response of no, wash up. I think Robbie brings up a good... This is I'm guessing a once in a lifetime thing.
Oh yeah, you either do it or she walks. This is why the Europeans have bidets, by the way. I'm not saying there's poo, I'm just saying it's gross down there for whatever reason.
Maybe she just got off, she just did a show or something, she just did a performance,
Yeah.
she got off,
Sweaty,
and it's like,
gross, or like shit gross?
Or maybe it's kind of like, the opening of a balloon when there's no air in it. Like it's just kind of like, it just kind of yawns
I don't
open.
picture it
Whatever.
ever being like that though. Robbie, I think everyone's a yes on this one.
I was thinking a little outside the butt on this one. So imagine for a second
For
that
once.
she says you need to lick my asshole or I'm not doing any of the crazy shit you want me to do. And you say, yeah, I'll do that. The problem is every time you think about this crazy sexual gallivant, if you will, afterwards, it's always going to go back to your mind like, you know what, I had to lick her butthole. You try not to think about it, but I don't think you ever forget about licking an asshole.
As opposed to now when I think
Experience.
about a sexual exploit and I have to think back on all my personal emotional manipulations.
Let's talk about
That's
that.
so much
We're
better.
going to do that for the episode.
I think you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. All right, buddy, welcome to Circle Jerks 12. This is a very, very special after-school version of Circle Jerks because we actually have some fucking guests for once, which you're supposed to have on a show. Instead of just me and Brent and James kind of getting drunk in a room, it's now me and Brent and James and Mr. Richard Vardy over here.
When you put it that way, it sounds cheap.
It is cheap. You smell cheap. The microphones are cheap. We're cheap.
That's not
It's
nice.
cheap. No, there's
As
lovely
a
equipment.
guest, I have to say cheap is definitely the word that
James
comes
is
to
gonna
mind.
kill you. He just called your microphones cheap.
If this was a
That's it.
porn, it would be being shot by teenagers in an attic. That's all I'm saying.
And the girls would not be registered.
And they also wouldn't be
No.
speaking English, probably.
Also joining us is Sasha Kaczarski, who is back. It's been a while since you guys have been on the program. Nice to have you on the program.
Not really.
Not nice to be here.
No, it's nice to be here, I apologize.
Are all your needs not being met?
Why'd you say not really?
Well, because it's a cheap program.
What? Okay.
This is public broadcasting, fella.
Yeah.
If you guys paid any money for this program at all, and I have no green room,
If you want to share my green room, it's the back seat of my car. So
that would do.
kind of-
See?
I got dog hair and PBR back there.
I'm pretty
He calls
sure.
it the estuary of nightmares.
I'm doing it for free.
Yeah, and I got a Night Ranger tape. So.
Alright, sounds good.
Anyway, today we're going to be talking about a gentleman named Norman Don't Call Me Rockwell Feller, who apparently locked himself up in 1999.
You want to do
in
it
a
one more
bunker.
time? Grammar?
No!
Okay, Jeff Goldblum, let's finish this.
Must go faster. Apparently this guy locked himself up in 1999 in a bunker because of Y2K, and he just came out recently, and we're going to talk about what that would be like, and also some of his remarks about what has changed in our brave new world. Then we're going to talk about Michael Brown and his funeral, and the fact that Barack Obama will not be attending. So thank God there's a black president. And then we're going to talk about Christy Mack, who is also known as a porn star who got her ass beat up by her MMA boyfriend and is now offering blowjobs for his capture. Is that
No.
Is he being
Just
captured?
money.
Two stories.
Just large sums of money.
Not the blowjob, but the hunting the boyfriend for money, the blowjob thing.
Wasn't there a
different story.
blowjob thrown in there somewhere? There usually
Yeah.
No,
is.
didn't
No,
she
there was.
once offer a blowjob to somebody to
Well, talk-
make something
We're
for
going to talk
her?
about that.
We're going to talk about it.
that.
We're going to talk
Well,
about it.
yeah, we'll get there. So,
Yay!
yay! We got through it! Mr. Vardy, Norman Don't Call Me Rockwell Feller is your topic of conversations. Would you like to give us?
Table today.
Would you like to give us a little bit of a briefing on that before we dive in?
Absolutely, and the word really is brief because it's it's just a story I saw on the feed, if you will. So Norman Feller, on the eve of 1999, when I guess a lot of people were kind of scared the fucking world was going to end, which all the computers are going to turn back and it's going to think it's 1900 again. It's going to lose all your bank statements and the banks are going to explode and water's going to turn into pee. All the biblical things are going to happen. Norman Feller said, "Yep, fuck that." So he hid in a bunker that he built and had all these rations set aside for, and he reemerged 14 years later. I don't know where the number came from. It's like, I'm sure after all the shit hits the fan, 14 years is a good number to wait before I go check shit out.
Let's talk about going into a bunker on Y2K first. Like, who thought about doing that?
Probably The Simpsons. I bet The Simpsons have already done it.
I remember Y2K as a kid, and I remember everyone saying stuff, and I remember distinctly not being scared of it at all.
No.
Like, I'm like, everyone's retarded. As a child, as a small
even
child,
then,
I'm like, everybody's an idiot.
You're like, this is a way for Walmart to sell a shitload
In
of
fact,
water.
I think that was one of the defining moments of my childhood when I went, "Oh, so pretty much everyone's really dumb, huh?" I was operating on the assumption up to that point. I was a young, innocent, young lad with a song in his heart. I was operating on the assumption that everybody was pretty reasonable, and that's the day that I realized, no, Earth's a bag of shit. Well.
It's been downhill from there.
But I love the bunker guys. Every time there's something, there's the bunker guys. And the best. Can you imagine like being his wife and like one day he's just like,
this dude doesn't have a wife. I'm calling it
oh
right
no
now.
no, I bet you he's got a wife and family. And
Bet you
one
he
day
had
she
a
comes
wife
home and he's like, "Honey, I've been building a bunker in the backyard. Come with me." And at this point, you're just hoping he's not one of those Josef Fritzl type guys. Because when you hear bunker, you think, "Oh God, this is gonna be some Calaveras County shit."
Well, is it ever a happy ending when a bunker's involved?
Can we just imagine for
Traditionally,
a
no.
second? Okay, he builds this bunker. He thinks the world's going to end. He's 100% committed to the fact that the world is going to be over. So he built this bunker. He doesn't even invite his wife and kids into it. He's just like, "You know what? I'm going to survive. I'm going to survive alone." Imagine coming out 14 years later. There's your probably now ex-wife. Actually, probably not, because you're locked in a bunker, so you can't sign any papers, but she knows you're alive. So you're probably still technically married.
She's banging
honey.
Jim from 3 doors down. She doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, you got like a Castaway type thing, where now she's like banging some other guy.
Except she does not give a shit about him. You go into a bunker for 14 years for no reason. Your wife's
Yeah,
not
but-
like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm
That's
seeing
Helen
you."
Hunt. That's Helen Hunt. That's
Right.
different.
Well, if Helen Hunt can get a man, any woman can. The other thing about this is, I love all of the, like, every 5 years somebody predicts the end of the world. There's something that's going to happen that's going to end the world. And every time, whoever says that is dead fucking wrong. And yet people
Yeah.
keep stashing away 100 years worth of mayonnaise and water bottles and like they keep believing in the fantasy that one day the world will end and
Hey, the
it'll be up
Mayans
to them.
predicted it.
Oh yeah, and shit turned out great for them. Right?
You know what's pathetic about the whole thing? I even got practical answers on why this is happening. Not even just mythical, like, oh, it's an apocalypse, kind of Y2K shit. So I asked someone who is, like, sold themselves as educated on the topic, right? Why the hell he thought it was happening. Oh, the dates are going to flip on computers, right? And everything's going to explode.
People always have logical explanations for absolute.
There were
People like,
people who like
fuck.
sold their houses and went on like, I'm going on a huge end of the world bender and lost fucking everything because they banked
They
on
gambled.
that.
Yep. These are the people who sold all their worldly possessions to build a bunker. So they're like, I'm gonna survive in the new world. So they reinforced. And I mean, what a great scam. Oh, this is Y2K guaranteed. Like this is 100% anti Y2K material.
We tested it in a microcosm of Y2K. It's good. It's good.
You see, we
slapped
have
the
little
sticker
bits of
on.
Y2K.
We traveled through time. We found out in
Tested it.
2001. It's all good.
Yeah.
Same thing happened recently in 2012 or whatever. There was that recent apocalypse.
yeah.
Mayan
Mayan
prophecy.
calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were building silos deep underground,
See,
and housing.
I think
whole
that was the
communities.
first time that the people from Y2K were able to sell their bunkers, because that economy dried up for a good
Yeah, it was definitely a
for a
buyer's
good
market
12
for a
years.
while
Yeah,
there.
And
right.
there were a lot of apocalypse movies. I'm pretty sure John Cusack may not just be eating craft dinner tonight because of 2012.
There was a lot of economy involved in this.
I think the bottom line with these guys is that it's kind of a weird commentary on people because everybody wants to fantasize about the end of the world. It's like a universal rape fantasy that people have.
Yeah.
That's why they like it. Some men just want to see the world burn, and these guys are pussies. They're not going to do it themselves, but boy, they can't wait till it happens. I don't know. It's like the kind of guy who gets a cut on his leg and then he like makes it bigger by picking at it because he's just so fascinated with destruction. It's kind of a weird commentary on something underlying in the American psyche, I guess.
It's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
wait till the world ends, but I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm not going to help that happen. But if it happens, yeah, I'll deal with it then.
And I like how everybody's first response is, I'm going to save myself. Not, I'm going to do something to fix it, or, you know, I'm gonna remain calm, or like save the children. No. I got me a
Yeah,
bunker.
because thank goodness these heroes are gonna survive.
Because it's really important that what
that
happens
I
to me.
continue humanity. Yeah, you're a real hero.
Like, I imagine Walking Dead where he's got this room that smells like complete shit because he's got a shit in a room and he can't get rid of it. Like,
And where's she going to put it?
wait, what? That's fucking awful.
Probably some survivalist who like boiling down the shit to like some sort of usable paste and then cycling it through a shower or something.
You're
I don't
boiling
know.
shit paste in a bunker?
I don't know.
Meanwhile, out there,
You're going to die!
Well, you know what's weird? He completely missed Osama bin Laden, so maybe he was right. Maybe he would have like gone to the World Trade Center that day. And...
you know what else he missed? He missed the first black president of the United States. Today I read that Barack Obama will be sending his AIDS, not autoimmune deficiency syndrome.
Right.
Which he may or may not have.
I thought you were talking about auto.
I don't know. He's aging really fast. I don't know if that's just the presidency or if
It's
he.
the cigarettes.
But in any case, he's not going to be going to Michael Brown's funeral in Ferguson. He's sending AIDS.
I bet you Oprah is, and Tyler Perry.
And John Legend will be there too.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry's already written about 3 movies about this.
Yeah,
And
they're
they all
getting
have
published.
Medea in it.
I want to start off by saying I don't care. I don't feel like that this is something that the president needs to go to. Like, I
Really?
get the controversy surrounding it, but honestly, you telling me the president has time to go to something like this? He has stuff to do. There's stuff that needs to be done.
Make time. Yeah, this has become a systemic thing. And what's the point? What's the benefit to the black community of having a black president if he isn't going to have the moral courage to actually... I mean, his presence could actually help. There's still problems. Last night there was violence breaking out. His presence might actually be able to do some good.
Yeah.
And
To
he's going to
send somebody else to
he's
do
going to
it.
send
Yeah.
AIDS. And if you can't go, send Joe Biden. What's he doing? Getting high?
Do you want to see him smiling?
Getting
surrounded
high
by
in the
a lot of
Eisenhower
mourning
building, send
black
him down.
people?
No,
I don't
he's
know
far
if
too
I don't know
white.
if sending a really old white guy is gonna really.
Send somebody from the administration to say something conciliatory.
Send Clinton. That'll be a party.
And maybe actually do something. I don't know. Yeah, Hillary Clinton. I can relate to you.
Well, that's sometimes all you need to do. But I don't know. I get Robbie's argument, and that does present some interesting points. You know, yeah, he could do some good by going down there. I just don't think it's as big of a deal as people seem to be making it.
I agree with Sasha on this point. I think it's
He's
a big
the
deal.
President. He should technically, in theory, have bigger fish to fry. I know it's becoming a major issue in the country, and yeah, okay, if he could do something about it, then maybe it's worth coming down. But I just don't see the big deal.
What do you think, Brent? You've been strangely quiet on this.
I don't understand how it's not a big deal. There's go down to Ferguson. There's racial. It's basically a fucking civil war. How is it not a big deal? I'm not talking
racial
about
problems.
Obama.
Well-
I could care less if Obama goes. I'm talking about how much more of a big deal would you like this to get?
Right.
This is a big deal.
And look, maybe it's not a good
There's
idea
a
for him to go to the
civil
funeral.
war in Ferguson right now. How much more of a big deal would you like it to be?
And maybe he shouldn't go to the funeral. Maybe that's inappropriate, and maybe they don't want him to go. Maybe his family just wants to mourn him in peace, and they don't want it to be a big media circus.
It might split
I
the-
get
You can't
that.
tell me that in
But-
any of the other big cities in the United States, black people aren't watching this and going, I can relate to that. And things are getting a little bit tense there too, because they already were. They only need a reason down
Well,
there.
and this keeps happening.
Do you think the
This is
president?
a big deal.
Do you think that the president going down there would help them out at all? I don't think it would help. It might cause more problems.
I don't know. If he's the guy that he promised he would be, then
He's not.
yes.
I
But
think
he's clearly not.
If he's not going to go to the funeral, he should have gone and paid a visit to Ferguson.
I don't know.
Somebody.
Where's that Hope stuff that he wrote in on in 2008? Where's that? I guess 6 years later, the hope's gone, I suppose. In that sense, I guess, yeah. But
But where do you draw the line? What about the that 40-year-old man who was tackled and had a heart attack by 5 white officers in the middle of New York? You know what I mean?
I think those are two different.
Yeah.
Those are
Well, they are two different. That's
different
why I
things.
said it, right? They are two
This
different
is
things.
basically what happened to Michael Brown was basically a summary execution.
That is a big
And
deal.
The fact
I'm
that
not
things-
saying they're
the
all
fact,
big deals.
The fact that things like that are happening too, I think part of the problem is that he's not done anything, and I don't know how much he can do, but this is clearly a problem everywhere with the militarization of police and with police reacting to everything like it's a fucking Soviet invasion. And what is anybody doing about it? Even if the president just stood up and said this, let me be clear, this will not be tolerated. I mean that would be something, you know. But instead, he's gonna send his aides.
I think overall, he likes to see himself as someone who's busy playing statesman, rather than something's going on in America. Oh, shit's been going on in America. America hates me. I don't care.
No,
I'm gonna play.
My country's tearing in half.
I'm gonna play.
I got better things to do.
Yeah, but I think he thinks that too.
But back to what Robbie's saying. If anybody was gonna do something, why not him? I mean, that
How
was
about the first black president?
That was the whole reason why you got elected. That things were supposed to fucking change, not get worse. There's a black guy in charge.
Anyway, good talk. But speaking of violence, our next subject here is no stranger to that. Christy Mack. Is that cheap?
That's not cheap.
This whole thing is cheap.
Is that cheapen the tenor of this already cheap show?
It's already cheap. It's all cheap.
Well, we're talking about a porn star now, so yes.
And you just undid the fourth button on your shirt.
Why
so yeah,
not?
this is
Slut.
this is
Warm in here.
This isn't cheap. This is free. Anyway.
It is free.
Yeah,
You're
so
welcome.
noted porn star. Although I have to say I've never really partaken. Christy Mack has been going through some issues, a little bit of a civil war in her own house. Sasha, this is your particular area of expertise because I know.
Abuse against porn
I
stars.
want to.
When I think Sasha Kaczorski, I think porn stars with black eyes. So.
I don't know. So what happened was, I guess, there was an altercation. A recently ex-boyfriend of hers came over to the house. He says to, propose to her or something crazy like that. Try and get her back. Try and win her back. And she's there with a guy. But it's not a guy that's, like, sexually involved. Just a dude that's over at the house. I don't know, fucking cousin or brother's friend or some shit like that.
Gardener, pool boy.
Gardener, yeah, well, whatever. You know, whatever. You can't.
Sister's best friend.
The third pizza guy.
Something you can't make an assumption about, even if you want to. And he flips out and he beats the shit out of the guy too, which happens. So he beats the shit out of two people.
And what is her recently ex-boyfriend's name again?
I don't know his actual name. He legally had it changed to his MMA handle, War Machine.
Is pleading not guilty to this abuse case.
Mr. Machine. All right, so Mr. Machine.
Can I call you War?
Mr. Machine beat the crap out of the first guy that was there and threw him out, and then proceeded to terrorize the poor girl. Made her get in the shower, beat the shit out of her, and cut off all her hair with a knife, and then was unable to have an erection. I don't know. Maybe he didn't like it as much as he thought he would.
I have one just hearing about it.
Too much steroids.
Too much fucking whatever crazy bullshit. And so he apparently went to go get another knife, and she just bailed. She's like, well, fuck
Another
that.
knife? How many knives do you need to abuse your porn star girlfriend? What kind of country of excess is
he
this?
picked the dull one. You have one dull knife for spreading, then you got one sharp one for cutting.
Yeah,
One
he
for
probably
spread,
grabbed
one
the
for
butter knife.
thread.
No, he
right?
got that. He got that like
The big,
like
thick one, fat
the
one.
little one that you use to just spread butter.
Yeah.
It's not even. It's actually smooth. It's not even sharp.
At one point, he tried to cut it with his own hair like you do with masking tape.
Yeah.
He thought it was foreplay.
You know,
Nah.
it's terrible what happened to her, but isn't it weird to picture this guy is holding you hostage at knife point, and he starts giving you outrageous demands like, shower, take a shower. No, you're not using the head and shoulders. Use the fructus. Use the fructus.
Well, it was documented.
He's
apparently,
walking you through a shower?
According to her, he like his plan was to rape her. He said that I'm going to rape you, and then just couldn't get an erection. So really, like, stroke of luck.
Failed rape.
So while I'm waiting for my hate boner to
or
crop
lack
up,
of stroke of
This
luck,
is just a
if
really
you know what I
loose
mean.
crime altogether.
Yeah,
He's
it
just
was.
not
this,
on point.
This was a crime of passion done by a stupid person.
Think it through, man.
By a person who professionally gets punched in the head.
no, so a criminal of passion can get an erection.
No, I know, but if you get punched in the head enough times for a living, I'm pretty sure it starts to
Okay.
fuck things up, but I don't know.
And then the cutting her hair with a knife.
And
You
with a
can't
dull
even
knife.
use scissors.
Right?
What? Like you're gonna make her sit down and she's like crying while he's going through this elaborate ritual.
Okay, what is he gonna do? Go through every drawer
Bring
in her
in-
fucking kitchen while she's crying in the corner? No, you gotta grab the first thing you can.
Shit. Do you have anything more like a steak knife? Do you have something serrated? What the fuck?
Well, that actually happened, because he left to go to the kitchen and get something else, and she's like, well, fuck it, I'm not going to stay, and left, of like any sane person would do, and found help outside of her house. There's...
Apparently, a very naked, very now
Oh,
follically changed and facially abused Christy Mack is running naked around somewhere.
I
trying to find help.
feel really bad, too.
That's
She
awful.
looked... she didn't look too good.
She looked like Anne Hathaway in Les Mis.
And then so her response from the hospital was to put out a $10,000 bounty on the man. $10,000 for the return, I believe it was alive or dead, I don't think she cared, of her soon hopefully person, War Machine.
I don't know. I read an article also based on this. That War Machine was claiming husband abuse of some kind, or
Right.
boyfriend. Like, it was ridiculous what I read.
Dude, you're an MMA
I can't find
fighter.
it right now, but I read it recently.
Obviously-
Would it be great if
obviously-
Don Cheadle played him in the movie?
Obviously, you showed the world that, yeah, okay, you're the dominant one, in probably the single worst way possible. And now
But
people
you're going to
literally
jail
want
now.
You're going to jail now. And apparently Dog was going to be the one to take him. Dog the Bounty Hunter. Was the first person to publicly, well, the second person.
He's a big fan.
He's the second person to publicly claim that they were going after that bounty. I was the first. I claimed before. That's shameful.
Can I say about this guy, War, Mr. Machine, Mr.
Mr.
Mighty Machines?
Punching porn stars in the face.
He's Mighty Machine. Let me just say, being an attempted rapist is the lowest caliber of criminal you can possibly imagine. Like, rape is horrible, and I don't want to joke about it, but if you were going to rape someone, you better be able to go through with it. Because if you fail to commit a rape, that's like failing to kill yourself. Like, you're even worse than the people who actually go through with it, because you're not even capable.
Do you remember the Barry rapist story?
The very attempted
Yeah,
rapist
like
who
earlier
attempted
in
to
the
rape
year.
like 8
Who
people.
is still at large.
Is he? I know. I thought
Or
he was-
is he here?
Did he beat chicks up too?
No, the chicks
No,
beat
he
him
was-
up.
Yeah. He
This
He
guy was
would
a real
tackle
puss.
them. He would tackle them, and they would
would
get
get away.
away.
That is
Which awesome for them. You know what?
That's
They
awful.
were probably all Taekwondo masters, or he's just really, really terrible at pretty much everything he does.
And that's why it's the worst to be an attempted rapist, because when they catch you, not only are you going to be the creepiest person ever, but everybody's going to laugh at you because
Nah, you blew it.
you can't even force someone to have sex with you. You are literally beneath sex of any order.
We'll laugh about it, but she bore the brunt of that joke.
Sure, we laugh. It's terrible, but
Yeah,
we're
we're
not
terrible
laugh.
people. I don't know. I've always had a weird thing. I've always viewed in my mind, I have a very skewed moral compass, but like I put like rape almost above murder or on par with murder,
I'll
Yeah.
take both. Give me the combo.
right?
one of each, please. Yeah.
Beat me up before you go.
Oh my god.
Hold the dick there, dang.
Well, somebody-
no.
Somebody's got to make the cheap jokes. This is cheap. So, we're talking about the world ending. If the world had to end some particular way, what way would you personally like it to end?
I would like our atmosphere to completely disappear and all of us explode or something.
That sounds, for the record, horrible.
End of humanity, zombies. One zombie.
You want zombies to happen?
Yeah.
You
kinda.
watched too much Crypt Keeper as a kid.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
See, I watched too much Magic School Bus as a kid. I want the world to end with an asteroid strike, and I want it to be like one of those 5 mile wide fuckers.
Oh yeah,
I
like
want to be one of the guys who gets hit with the asteroid. Like, be like out for a stroll.
I'd be the guy's drilling. I want to be the guy drilling. The Bruce Willis that blows it. I didn't do it in time. Sorry, guys.
Well, time for one last wank.
Can you imagine? That's how Armageddon should have ended. Alright, just press the button. You know what?
Right after I take care of me.
Just staring into the camera at NASA, beating your meat. All of
Daughters live,
humanity.
Tyler.
If you
Just
don't want
hanging
to
in the
look,
balance.
don't look. This is my time.
If she doesn't look, I'm not pressing the button. Look!
Show me a nipple. The world's gonna end, sweetheart. Show me a nipple.
Well, as usual, this show ends with people whipping out their genitalia and violently assaulting it. So thank you for watching our show, which consists of and ends with violent assaults.
It's
and
also so cheap.
So cheap.
on behalf of Brent Williams, Richard Vardy, Sasha Kucharski, our producer. Actually, I'm here to promote you to executive producer, James. Congratulations.
So happy.
Thank you for watching Circle Jerks 12. And hopefully we'll be here for lucky number 13, as long as the world doesn't end.
I want to buy a bunker.
You don't. You're stupid.